Thank you so much for watching Riff TV. Now, this interview is obviously with video, but I don't interview everybody on Zoom. That's why I put it on my Talk and Rock with Meltdown podcast. We talk to rock artists from all over the genre. So check out Talk and Rock with Meltdown wherever you get your podcasts. And now to today's video interview. Well, here with Zack and Harrison from the band Tempt. How you guys doing?
Great.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us.
All right, now, Zack, you're the singer, and Harrison, you're the guitar player. Is that correct?
Yes.
That would be correct.
All right, so give us a little bit of info about the band. Give some people, in case I haven't heard about you, what's going on with the band.
Well, we signed a record deal. We signed with Better Noise Music, Alan Kovac's label, which has been great. But we signed right before the pandemic started, and we finished our record right when the pandemic started. So we made the decision to not put it out and hold on until we could put some touring behind it. So this amazing record that was co-produced with Chris Lord-Alge, who mixed the record. And it sounds amazing, and we cannot wait to get it out. And it'll be coming out summertime fully, and we'll be releasing singles up to then, and then we'll be touring in the summer. Yeah, so things are finally going to start kicking off after 2 years of sitting around for COVID.
Yeah, you guys aren't the only ones that are in that boat for sure. So, Zack, where are you guys from?
So we're from New York, born and raised. Our drummer is from Canada, but we consider him a true New Yorker because he's lived here for at least 10 years. So we're all from New York. Harrison and I are from Manhattan. Our bassist, Chris, is from the Bronx. And like I mentioned, Nick is a transplant New Yorker from Canada.
Now, I spent the first 27 years of my life in Buffalo, and people always say, you don't sound like you're from New York.
Yeah, I know. It's funny when you mention what sports teams are from New York, like Buffalo always gets left out. And it's like, I mean, the Bills are really the ones worth watching right now. So
well, and the Bills are the only team that are actually play in New York.
That's true. Very true. I know. It should be the New Jersey Giants, the New Jersey Jets.
Yeah, that's right. So, Harrison, you're over in England right now, huh? That's pretty cool.
Yes, I'm just visiting family out here. So we actually just did it's weird to be back because we just did a tour out here over the summer. We played all the big festivals. We did Download Fest. We played a show with Iron Maiden in Belfast. We played in France at Hellfest. It was crazy. What are the other big ones? We did Rock and Park, Rock and Ring. So that was really fun. Now I'm back, but now I'm back over here, and I'm just wishing I was back here with the band.
I know. I'm jealous, man.
Zack, what were the experiences like playing over there at some of those European festivals?
Man, it was incredible. The response was so overwhelming. We always talk about the first proper show we did over there. We did a warm-up show in London, but when we did Rock and Park in Germany, we had a circle pit going, and we hadn't at that point. We'd only released one song at that point, really. So to see the response people were giving us to the way we were treated at the festivals, and just how the food we got, and just meeting all the other artists and everything. And, we got to play shows with Shinedown and Iron Maiden and Airborne, and just getting to pick their brains, and Tremonti, of course, and Theory of a Dead Man. It was just such an incredible time. The fan reaction, they were just so appreciative of our music. And I remember when we went out into the crowd after one of the shows, some of the German fans were saying, no one ever does this, and we just appreciate it so much. And it was the least we could do, just to talk with them and express our gratitude for them bringing the energy every night.
So do you guys have anything lined up for 2023, or can't you talk about it yet? A lot of bands are kind of like mum on what they're doing.
Nothing we can really talk about yet, but we're definitely going to be 2023 is going to be the big year for us finally.
Yeah, I mean, we do have the Christmas single that just came out. Christmas is the time to say I love you. And then we do have another single coming out. Our version of We Will Rock You will be coming out. The video is on January 13th. I'm really excited for that video because it shows the highlights from our tour in Europe. And then the actual single comes out on all streaming services and everything on January 27th. So things are happening.
All right, we'll talk about the Christmas song here in a couple minutes. But first, I want to talk about, you guys did that song for the Retaliators, which I still haven't been able to watch. I don't even know where it is. It's like there's about 18,000 streaming services. I've tried to find it to watch it, and I can't find it. I think I know half the guys in the movie, but I don't even know where it is.
I'm not sure either. I think it's on it's on some horror site. There's like a horror only streaming site.
Is it
I
Shutter? Shutter, I think, right?
think it's Shudder, yeah.
Well, that's no good. I don't have it, so I don't need. Want to watch this movie? Have you guys seen it?
That question is a little bit above our pay grade on how you find the retaliator.
Have you watched it, Zach, or no?
I actually haven't seen the full thing, but it's definitely on my list. I love horror movies and any sort of slasher stuff, and vampires and all that good stuff is fun. So it's on my list, but I haven't actually gotten to see the whole thing
We
yet.
were supposed to see it because we actually went to the premiere and met up with everyone that was in the film. It was really fun, but I can't remember what we had, but we had some already like previously scheduled session or something that just happened to fall on
Yeah.
it that we. So we just showed up to the premiere, said, hey, how's it going? Had a couple of drinks with people. And then as soon as everyone started walking to their seats, we kind of all like slipped out and just
We
left.
just slipped out. Yeah.
Yeah, and you probably would have thought by the middle of December you would have seen it somewhere. But you guys are the second band, at least the second band I've talked to that has music on that movie and hasn't seen the movie. I can't remember who the first was, to be quite honest with you. But anyway, slasher movies, by the way, Zach, I just saw Violent Night for the second time. That's an awesome movie to see.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've seen preview. Is that the David Harbour one?
Yeah.
Oh, that looks fun. Yeah, I'll check that out.
Yeah, I watched Bones and all. I saw what's Smile. That was pretty good. I watched all
I gotta
those
see that.
movies. Yeah.
Have you seen Barbarian?
I did, which takes place
Yeah.
not too far from where I am, right here in Detroit.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that
Barbarian's
was
crazy.
that was a surprising one to find out that it took place, in Brightmoor, Michigan, which is right outside of Detroit. But
Yeah, that's
Halloween
right.
Ends, by the way, was awful.
Really?
You didn't see it?
This is embarrassing to say. I've never even seen the original. It's very embarrassing to say that. So no, I feel like seeing this one now without seeing the original is just kind of sacrilegious.
Yeah.
Zach is much more of like a modern horror guy.
Okay.
True. This is true.
You got to go back and see the classics. I mean,
I know.
After all, you guys, you covered this. How old is that Billy Squier song? It's got to be almost 40 years old now, right?
It's early 80s. I can't remember the exact year. It's like 82 or something, 81 or 82, I think.
Yeah,
But
so it's 40 years. You guys weren't even a twinkle in your daddy's eye when that song came out.
Nope.
So I mean, there's all sorts of Christmas songs. I just talked. Oh, it was the guys from Ashes to New. They have a song in the Retaliators movie, and
Yes.
they hadn't seen it either. But so they just covered that Mariah Carey song. So Zach, I'll put this one out to you. What made you decide? You know what? We got to revamp this Billy Squier song.
Well, it's actually something Harrison showed us because Billy Squier is Harrison's godfather. And I know he grew up listening to that song and the video from MTV. And he played it for all of us. And we were instantly like, yeah, this is the one that we have to do because it's such a good song. And I think a song that not as many people knew about. So we loved the song as it was. We wanted to raise the tempo a little bit and shot the video showcasing New York in the holiday times because it's just such a fun time. We had a great time shooting that video, running around in our Santa outfits, Radio City Music Hall, Hudson Yards, like hitting all the places and getting to play with people's dogs and everything. So when there's a camera, people let you do things that they don't normally let you do. But yeah, as soon as Harrison played it for us, we knew it had to be this one.
Now, Harrison, I saw you ripping through, I think, the guitar solo and stuff, and of course, you're playing it on this pink guitar. That's not Billy's, is it?
No, so that's actually Jeff Gollum's guitar, who was my other godfather, who was
so many godfathers.
who was the guitarist in Billy Squier's band.
How many godfathers are you allowed to have? I don't even know. But anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, he was the guitar player in Billy Squier's band during the height of Billy's career. So, and then he played with Rod Stewart. He became a big jazz and blues guitarist. He's a great guitarist. He unfortunately passed away not too long ago. But it wasn't Billy Squier's guitar, but it was his lead guitar player's guitar.
So, all right, you guys just opened up this whole Pandora's box here. So, Harrison, you've told this story a million times, I'm sure, but how do you become Billy Squier's godson?
It's really not that interesting of a story. Basically, my parents were both musicians and involved in music, and both my dad was born and raised in New York, and my mom moved to New York. and they just were in a friend group in the 80s that just so happened to include Billy Squier, and there you go.
I was thinking for a second you were going to say that Billy doesn't really know he's my godfather.
The Godfather is one you have to know.
I told you guys earlier, I just talked to John Waite earlier today. I got to be honest with you. I never thought I'd be well, I guess I would be talking about Billy Squier since you guys covered one of the songs, but that name hasn't been brought up to me in quite a while. Are you in contact with him? What is he doing?
Yeah, we are in contact with him. For one, he had to approve of using the song. So
Okay.
there's that. But he's kind of basically just retired, living his life out, hanging out at his beach house. And so, obviously I'd have a few email exchanges with him with the song, and he loves the version that we did, and he's really excited about it. So it's all good in his camp.
Now, Zach, knowing that Billy was going to hear this, I mean, does it add any pressure to you and what you do?
To be honest, not really. Well, we're just going to do our thing regardless. I obviously hope that he would like it, and I'm glad to hear that he does. But we were going to put our spin on it regardless. And if he didn't like it, it would have been disappointing and probably harder for Harrison than it is for me. but no, I think it was just such a good song. I love the melodies in it, and it fit right into my range. So I wasn't too concerned, and I'm glad that he liked our version.
Now, people don't know, Zach, but Ronnie James Dio is your godfather, right? Is that correct?
That's absolutely not correct. I don't have any famous godfathers. I leave that to Harrison. Harrison's the limit does not exist on Harrison's famous godfathers. So.
All right, so now we're putting the pieces together as to why you covered this song. So I'm thinking to myself, this song is a lot older than you guys are, and I can remember hearing it as a kid when I was just growing up outside of Buffalo, like I said. But and of course, it's actually, to be honest with you, it's one of my favorite Christmas songs. It's pretty cool, and every time you hear it, it's that time of year.
That's right. Yeah, it's a time to say I love you. It's just a great message.
It really is a great song, and to me, it's as a rock Christmas song. I think it really has the potential to be up there with like the Mariah Careys of the world, because it's upbeat, it's up tempo, it's fun, and I think it really is one of the best rock Christmas songs, like originally composed Christmas songs.
Yeah. Now, Harrison, you say your parents were in music and stuff. What kind of advice they give you? Are they still doing anything in music or no?
My dad is, but more on kind of the corporate side of music, but and not in the band space. It's more in, advertisement and that type of thing. But they've given me lots of advice, obviously, as one could imagine. But I think the most important thing is this concept, that we really champion in the band, which is having a vision of what you want to accomplish and pursuing that vision and understanding what the end goal is that you see for yourself, and making sure all the guys agree that here's how we see the band, here's the type of music we want to create, and to not sway from that vision, not be discouraged by people who might not like it, or people who say, oh, you guys should do this, because the biggest problem you see with a lot of, baby bands and bands that are starting out is they go at it for a year or two, get a little bit of success, but then, someone comes along and says, oh, actually, you'd be more famous if you did this. And then they completely switch tactics. And now they're kind of just lost in this, nebulous thing of where they're a rock band one year, then they're a heavy metal band, then they're a pop band, So this idea of coming up with this, sticking to your guns, and just following through on what you set out to do.
Now, Zach, what was it like to sing with Dorothy?
That was a lot of fun. We only, when we shot the video, we'd only met her like a bit earlier that week for the fitting. First of all, her outfit was fantastic. I got to give a shout out there. I've
never seen her wear a bad outfit, but go ahead.
And that's very true. We had natural chemistry. I mean, and she was great because we shot most of that video after midnight, like at least until about 3 a.m. And she was there for the whole thing. Even when we were shooting our parts without her, she was there rocking with us and just having a good time. So she made it easy. It was seamless. Like I always tell the story when I first heard the mix of Living Dangerous with her on it, and she started singing the second verse, I thought it was still me singing, just because she perfectly late into the song. She added some really cool parts, and she just captured it. I mean, some of the runs that she did were really great, and then meeting her in person and being able to do the video with her was a treat. She's just a pro, and I was glad that she had us play with her in the Gramercy Theater because that was a lot of fun, and she's always been a good friend to us.
Yeah, she's the best. So, what do people compare your guys' band to? Harrison, I'll start with you. What do people say you sound like?
Well, I'm actually gonna kind of give a bad answer on that and skirt around it a little because, people hear us play live and they hear a lot of our music, but they've never actually heard our record yet because it's not out.
Right.
And I think a lot of people, we get comparisons. Obviously we have this kind of new modern take on a lot of what we like about rock music and infusing that with our influences from modern music and R&B and pop and EDM and that type of thing. But I think once people hear this record, I think a lot of people are going to be blown away by it and by where we're taking rock music, and they're not really going to be able to make a direct comparison to what we're doing because this so much on this record is just really new. So I'm really excited for people to hear that.
Zach, what do you say? Same thing.
Ditto? The hardest. It's one of the hardest questions to answer is when people ask, "So what do you guys sound like?" It's like, well, I mean, I guess a lot of things. Like we take influence from like Harrison was saying, the greats. Like I'm a huge Steven Tyler fan. He's my guy. Like that's like his style and his lyricism and everything. And I love Aerosmith. But we're also listening to everything today from Bruno Mars to Lizzo to Ghost and like just everything in between there. That's a kind of a weird three artists, but it's just a tough thing. I just think it's so cliche and we just sound like us. I don't think we really sound like anybody. We incorporate elements. I mean, guitar solos that have been around, forever and big vocal hooks, but I think we're in this kind of weird sweet spot. It's always a question I have trouble with, especially when friends ask me. I'm like, I don't know, just come to our show. You make the decision.
So when does the record drop?
We don't have an exact date, but it's definitely going to be this summertime.
The summertime, okay.
And we will have, once Zach mentioned the 13th and the 27th, we're releasing the video and then the single for our cover of We Will Rock You. After that single's released, the next step is we will start releasing new music and singles leading up to the record, which will be fully released in the summer.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, you guys have a great Christmas. And of course, good luck on this Billy Squier. Christmas is a time to say I love you track and the Queen song that you're saying and the new record as well. And we'll see you on tour. And when you guys come through the Motor City, Zach, I'll take you to where Barbarian took place. And you don't want to
Let's go to a Tigers game. Let's go to Tigers. I'm a huge baseball fan, so let's go to Tigers game.
Well, you can find Tigers tickets pretty cheap and pretty plentiful. So
let's do it.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. Have a great Christmas and everything. Okay.
Thank you.
You too. Thanks for having us.